go. Continue.
Oh, no, sure. All right, welcome back.
I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready.
Go.
Let's blow up another moon.
This time I am here.
Oh, everyone's here.
I am here.
Everyone
Kind of
is
everyone's here, to be honest.
Everyone start doing your intros.
No.
Do it. Yuki
Anyways.
is also here, but in text form.
Yes. The sheer size of the interior was daunting. The 3 floors of the mansion contained more rooms than Soujyuro's entire apartment building.
Oof. Oof. Rip to my
I think
man.
there's only 2, so I don't know if that's more. Oh, it contained more rooms. Oh, okay. Then
yeah.
yes. Well, there's only 2 floors.
There's only
so
2 floors.
That makes sense if there's an entire third room or third floor.
Yeah.
For it to get space.
Fair.
Except their size was excessive. I breathed wrong. Hold on.
Oh, you good?
I'm fine. Here, the mansion's rooms seemed too numerous for so few inhabitants, its lavish carpeted halls cold and dreary. Is this like a Tono situation where they had to kick all of the other family members out? The guest room that Soujyuro had been sleeping in was on the 2nd floor of the east wing.
Which wing was the one that
Wait
she
a
wasn't
second.
supposed to...
I think it was the east wing.
It was the East Wing.
So much shit goes down in the east wings, I swear.
Man. Including just, man, that one just sus room. Huh?
Yeah.
That one sus room with that one sus guy.
Don't know how you got that key, but die.
Time to die.
Time to die.
Time to die.
Sorry,
Grand
buddy,
time.
you're not ready to learn that yet. You're gonna have to wait till next game.
You're not in
Next
this
time.
route.
bro,
Next time on Which on the Holy Night.
Bro was barely in the first route. I'm betting he's not even gonna be in the CL route.
Lord.
Anyways.
A staircase. Sure.
Their cat.
A staircase leading down to the 1st floor was at the end of the corridor, at the center of the mansion. The heart, if you will.
Ooh.
Winter sunlight beamed through the windows, which only made the empty corridor appear more lonely. Even lonelier. English.
A little lonely. Oh, that's bright. That's
very
bright.
The skylight.
Eyeballs.
So true.
The center of the mansion was topped by a vaulted skylight overlooking the 1st floor.
Yeah, I can see that. Oh my god, my eyes.
Poor Soujyuro. The staircase, connecting the 1st and 2nd floors, lined its walls.
I mean, yeah, that's what the staircase does.
Shush. Another I keep saying scarecase.
Scaretace.
Sure.
Scaretace.
Another staircase at the other end of the 2nd floor corridor presumably led to an attic, or storeroom of sorts on the 3rd floor. Paying no mind to Soujyuro's gawking, Aoko descended the stairs with familiar steps. The foyer was a place of white and wood grain. Its hardwood floors shone brightly under the starlight coming in from the ceiling. And the tall white walls were spotless and brawny.
Like they have muscles?
I guess.
Yes, the muscular wall is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if that
Totally.
mirror is also silver. Like
Hey. And that's why they're called the Pillarmen, am I right? That's a funny JoJo's reference.
Is that a JoJo reference?
No.
Is that a friggin' JoJo's Bizarre Adventure reference?
Is that a JoJo's reference?
Is that a reference to the hit anime JoJo's Bizarre Adventure?
With its multiple
be.
chapters and different JoJo's?
Exactly.
Yo!
Oh my god.
Anyways.
There was a staircase leading to the second floor and a long, unused fireplace.
Is there ash in that? It certainly does look like there is, right?
Yeah, it looks like
been used,
there's
yeah.
like
It's been
it looks like it's
used
kind of been used.
once, maybe.
Yeah.
Just not like recently, probably.
Yeah, not well used.
Or maybe it was used a long time ago, but like Alice and Alco just like don't want to clean it.
That's very fair.
They have eating spells for that.
They probably
They
do,
can
not
eat
gonna lie.
themselves up for
I mean, yeah.
Imagine if they learned Mind Wipe.
I think the spell kill is more
Of
efficient.
greater use, yeah.
See, you can use the kill spell on like any other thing.
If they're
It's
meant to
very
be good
multifaceted.
mages, they should not go for a simple spell such as that. They should go for a more intricate one, like
kill.
Mind Wipe.
Kill spell.
Yes.
The kill spell, you know. There are multi.
One bite from Deathus
From
Arachnus.
from Arachnus Deathicus.
Can instantly
Fully
paralyze.
paralyzed. I love Mega
We're
Man.
gonna get a
love
Mega Man show soon. It's gonna be fun.
Ooh,
Oh,
great.
interesting.
A neglected telephone sat on a table opposite a solemn grandfather clock.
I can hear the grandfather clock. It do be ticking.
Oh yeah.
Grandfather Clock is asking what the time is. He can't see.
Always ticking, but never hitting an hour. I don't know, ominous.
I think that's off.
Did you know that you actually can turn off the beeping noises on a microwave?
Really?
Yeah. I think you have to just hold down the number 2 for a while. I've seen people do it. It might be different for different microwaves.
Interesting. I'll keep this in mind the next time I
'Cause
make instant mac and cheese and the folks are home sleeping.
that's why people have been doing it on TikTok. It's like, hey, you want to make
Does Kishi
late
turn
night
off his
show?
microwave?
No, because he lives alone.
Bah.
I mean, technically, Kishi doesn't. Or no, Kishi does. Sorry. Sometimes I get Kishi and Shiki mixed up because they both have E at the end of their name.
Ever
Yes.
since
They're spelled with the
fucking
same. They're spelled with the same letters.
Ever
Yeah.
since Tsukihime, I cannot get that out of my head anymore. I keep saying Shiki.
Ishitono. Kishi Nanaya.
Oh no, not Nanaya.
Bruh.
Oh my god.
God. It was more like an old castle than a mansion. Alco shot Soujyuro a callous stare, who stood captivated by the otherworldly scenery.
Whoa. A phone.
It doesn't work, now keep moving.
Oh wow. That's a clock.
That does work. Let's keep going.
Oh, it is making cool no. That's a fireplace.
Oh my god. I just imagine she's just rubbing her temples, just, okay, yeah, I signed up for this. Yeah.
It just killed him, but kept them instead.
Could have killed him.
Oh, that's a
but he
mirror.
saved me.
I have one of those too, but it's still cool.
Yeah, his mirror is made out of water. It's a river.
Can you imagine if he'd never seen his own reflection before?
Oh man, that's what I look like.
He's like, ah, who's that? Why is he mirroring me? Hello? Is he trapped in the box?
Literally one of the,
Fast.
literally those very videos of like people putting a mirror in the freaking Amazon rainforest
Yes.
and just like watching jaguars and crocodiles like
Yes. Or like, I don't know if you've seen like, but when people put mirrors up to dolphins, they're smart enough to know that it is their reflection.
Yeah. Because dolphins are smart, but they use it for bad things because they're
Yes.
bastards.
Elephants are smart, but they use that for good things. They are good.
Yes, real dolphins are chaotic evil. Elephants, however, are lawful good.
Yes.
Yes.
They just
Unless
they
you're
have
an
to be really
ox,
gentle.
then one random elephant will just destroy your day.
Well, have you considered that perhaps ox are also chaotic evil, but they're just dumb?
You're right. You're right.
I agree
Also,
with this assessment.
What, the
It
cows
was
are
Paul
evil?
Bundy, I believe, right? You asked me if Paul Bundy was a kaiju, Keith.
Paul Bunyan?
Paul
Bunyan.
Bunyan.
Sorry. Paul Bunyan. Paul Bunyan is not a... I will go on record to say that Paul Bunyan is not a kaiju, but his pet ox Babe is.
Babe the Blue Ox, yes.
Babe the Blue Ox is 100% a kaiju, and I will not be
Titanus
taking any
Babe.
kind of...
Titanus Babe.
Things are falling everywhere,
Alright,
it's fine.
okay, fair enough. Anyways, I'm gonna click next.
Okay. Hey, snap out of it. The drawing room is this way. She grabbed the knob of the door next to the stairs.
I thought she was just gonna grab his hand and drag him.
Just grabs him by, like, the collar. Just, come on. Just yoink.
But I wanna look at the cool stuff you got here.
You can look at more cool stuff later.
Oh, okay.
There were 4 doors to the foyer, and the easternmost as you entered the house led to the drawing room. The door on the opposite side of the foyer led to the mansion's west wing, which is forbidden.
Wow.
To the south
Wow,
was
what's
the
in the West
entrance.
Wing?
That is forbidden.
God.
Insert echoing noises here.
You must
I
never
have
go
to.
to the West Wing.
Forbidden.
Why? What's in the west wing? It is forbidden.
It is forbidden.
Forbidden.
That's where the rose. And then he goes to the West Wing and sees a rose.
I mean, to be fair, they are magicians. There might be a secret, some kind of weird
What?
plan.
A rose that turned everyone into furniture.
Yes,
There we go.
they could turn into furniture. Anyways, magicians would be really good at hide and seek, do you think?
Yeah, probably.
Transmutationing themselves. On the north side was one more door next to the fireplace. Tucked underneath the stairs, this door connected to a bathroom, unbeknownst to Soujyuro.
Oh, Alco, I gotta go. I gotta go pee, Alco.
My God. This man. No, this child.
This little baby. You should have thought of that before you left your room. Now you can't go. You have to wait.
Well, I didn't need to go then.
Oh my God. This is.
This is what you signed up for if you're being in the call. This is your own fault.
No.
I don't make the rules.
B, you gotta like make a friggin' compilation of all like the dumb side Soujyuro Alco moments.
Sure, I'll figure it out.
You have to watch 50 hours of all this just to find
Exactly.
all of it.
Yes. Yes.
No,
It's
just
great.
a compilation of the best ones, I guess.
This is definitely the
These
one
are
of
all the best ones. I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, I do want someone to make a compilation of all the times that as Arcawide I go, yeah.
them. That's
Like,
gonna
that's
be
what
possible.
I want. I want someone to make a compilation of all the times I've gone just, yeah.
Yeah.
In the southern accent.
Yeah.
Anyways, due to the lack of windows, the first floor's corridor were not well lit. If the second floor was a seldom attended infirmary, and the foyer a stairwell in some foreign castle, then the first floor corridor was a windowless labyrinth, not unlike the corridors of a hotel.
Neat. There's too much garbage in this house.
Or perhaps there's not enough. I don't know what you're talking about.
Do they not have enough garbage to fill every single room here?
I mean...
There's a non-zero chance that they don't. Okay.
Yuki says that he regrets his parent choices. It's too late, Yuki. You're stuck with us.
Wow. Rooms.
Yuki, I created you. I molded you from the burning fiery pits of hell.
Ah,
How
Yuki's
dare
a
you
beast,
do
I
this
see.
to me?
Yeah, she dipped him in the river Styx.
Exactly. I did. I made my own boat and everything.
My boat's better.
Although, well,
Boat fight?
shut up.
Boat fight.
Although it had not been long since Soujyuro came to the city, even he could feel this place was out of the ordinary. Seeing as how he was going to be stuck here for the foreseeable future, he found it hard to get excited about living in a haunted house. They keep saying it's haunted, but they don't tell us by what.
That's
Like,
fair.
what makes it haunted?
I mean,
I think it's just the feel of it, maybe.
I suppose
Soujyuro
it could
thinks
be.
This is a haunted mansion type
Well,
feel.
but they said that there was like a story linked to
Yeah,
it.
there's some sort of story link to it. I don't think we've gotten to that yet. Either that or either that or like the Alco and Alice just get up to like some weird shit and like
Because like the other thing that I can think of is that they did mention that Alco did get like followed by some guy and she like stabbed him or something, I believe. Like near the beginning.
oh yeah, didn't
Oh,
she?
right.
Well, I think she punched him, right?
Yeah, something. She assaulted him in some way because he was following her.
Right. Because
But like I don't think that makes it a haunted house.
right.
No.
Yeah.
Maybe
and
we'll
then-
see.
Yeah, and then he transferred out because he's a
Spooky.
bitch.
Yeah, uh-huh.
The
He was a
spooky
bitch.
bitch.
It's a spooky bitch. Yeah.
Just so you know, all right? No, sometimes a no. No, all the time. All times no is a no. What you think? So sometimes a no, it doesn't mean no. Yeah, obviously.
Are you
Uh,
okay?
I think playing Soujyuro is starting to get to him.
Oh no.
You guys ever see that one weird freaking Christian movie with the lions?
Where the lion becomes a vegan or whatever?
No,
No? Oh, okay. Then maybe.
the where
With
like the story of
CGI.
with the CGI with the lions and the
Yes,
story. It
yes,
was the story
no,
of Joshua.
yes, the story of Joshua. Yeah, no, I know exactly what you're talking
I
about. I know exactly what you're
remember
talking about.
this.
Yeah, yeah,
God.
Look, sometimes
I
a
think
no
I
is a
should-
maybe.
Look, sometimes I know it's a maybe. I watched someone like review it. It was so fucking funny.
It's certainly a time.
Yeah.
Anyways, we're playing a visual
Anyways.
novel.
We are playing a visual novel. So that's the drawing room, and a little farther down is the kitchen. It's fine for cooking simple meals, but we kind of destroyed the oven, so don't try and touch that.
But
Here next to the drawing room is the sunroom, which we use as a dining room, but we'll get into that later.
is that why there's so many takeout? There's so much takeout being like brought up here.
Maybe.
Are you guys
Anyways,
good at cooking? I can help.
I know what I'm doing. I can do things.
Starts cooking deer guts for the both of them.
You know, funny enough, the one character trope that they haven't given Soujyuro that I don't know how I feel on the fact that they haven't given it to him is the fact that he's he's not an older brother that has siblings that he cooked for. You know?
Oh yeah, no, fair.
They didn't give him that trope, and I'm not like mad about it or like whatever, but it's just one of those tropes that like he feels like he would have, but he doesn't, you know?
That's fair.
I mean, granted, we know
He did
nothing
so
about
for
his
the
family,
kids
so.
he was living with. They live in a village
I mean,
He lived in the mountains.
Yeah,
that's literally all
that's
we know.
all we
is that
know
he
about
lived in
with
the
other
mountains.
people or just him.
We don't
we
know.
don't know.
Okay.
He just lived in the mountains.
He just lived in the mountains and and is very unfamiliar with, and is so unfamiliar with like,
modern
with
world.
civilization that he didn't even register magecraft as like out of the ordinary.
Yeah.
This man,
It's fun
this
like that.
poor man.
Yeah, he's trying his best. Alco said, reaching for a door along the dim corridor. However, she paused before turning the knob.
Oh, what's with the hesitation?
She flashed Soujyuro a meaningful glance, which she quickly withdrew.
Eh?
Okay. Then, without further ado, she opened the door.
TV.
Sorry for the wait. He's on board.
Oh, y'all got a TV?
Damn, I thought those things were myths.
Oh my god, it's insane!
What's it say?
Bro, that's a 12-inch Sany.
Love it.
Um,
It's great.
Amazing.
VCR
It's what I
player.
always wanted.
Got a VCR player on the bottom too. Let's go.
Absolutely. She said to Alice as she entered the drawing room. After hesitating for a moment, Soujyuro entered after her. Compared to the corridor, the drawing room was unexpectedly modern. The carpeted floor, leather sofas, and a large 30-inch television were more what Soujyuro had come to expect in a normal house.
Oh, okay. Never mind. Not 12. 30. It's bigger. It's a lot bigger.
That's that's a little more than
A
double.
little more than double. It's not modern. Well, okay, modern by like our standards, but it is it is bigger than what most people would have probably.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, probably at the time. This is what, the 80s?
Yeah, late 80s, 1988 or 1989.
Mm-hmm.
That's definitely a mid-range TV. That doesn't look like a Trinitron.
Really?
Mm.
Mid-range only?
Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, it's been. If it had a silver coloring, then you can tell it's a Sony Trinitron.
I
Which is
think you
the
mean a
best of the
Sany
best at the time.
Trinitron?
Sany.
Yeah, a Sany Quadratron, really.
Lord. Anyways,
Oh man.
we're having so much fun. In this family-oriented room, a girl far removed from said setting sat quietly on the sofa.
1, 2, 3. Wow. Look at that. Look at that alliteration.
Mm-hmm. Alco sat on the sofa across from the girl in all black. This gave Soujyuro 2 seating options. Next to Alco Awazaki, or next to Alice Kuanji. Lucky for you, you don't have to choose because this isn't a choosing visual novel. Suffer.
Is he just gonna sit? Is he just gonna stand?
He's just gonna
Yes.
fucking sit on the floor. After about 2 seconds of deliberation, he decided to stand by the wall as neither option appealed.
I freaking knew it.
He's just like, yep, this is what I've chosen.
I don't think either of them like me very much, so...
If I sit too close, they might kill me, so I'm just gonna stand here at a good distance. Alco and Alice were facing each other across the coffee table. The clean, perfectly level table somehow added to the austere atmosphere. Austere?
Austere, I think?
Austere?
Austere atmosphere.
Whatever that means.
Sure, it's fancy.
Severe or strict
Some
in
fancy
manner.
atmosphere.
That's weird.
It means what?
It means severe or strict in manner, attitude, or appearance.
Great.
Sure. Okay. So I guess it means like, I guess
Very serious. Very serious.
And since he agreed, you shouldn't have any objections. Right, Alice?
Dun, dun.
Alice
Dun.
gave one deep nod in response to her non-question.
How much you want to bet she still has that dagger?
Of course.
She probably still does, yeah.
From his position, again, against the wall, they looked as though they were cleaning up some
Niggling?
niggling grievances.
Yes, that is how you pronounce it, yes. And yes, it
Okay.
is very suspicious in wording.
What the heck does that mean?
It reminds me of, like, that kind of word is the word. So do you know the British term for underwear?
Yep.
What?
Knickers.
No. Oh.
Yes.
I see.
There's a video that I love very, very much, but every time she says it, I have to, like, pause for a minute and be like, right, she's British.
Yep.
It's
And niggling means annoyance, by the way, or
yeah.
uncomfortable.
There's just some words that just are.
I see. Okay.
You just have to pause. You just have to give them.
The
pause.
word itself is uncomfortable.
That's fair.
Fair enough.
Soujyuro got the feeling that the two did not entirely see eye to eye concerning what to do with him. I suppose not, but we will still need to investigate the cause. She cast a sideways look at Soujyuro with those dark shaded eyes of hers.
Howdy.
Her voice shared the same cold indifference, making it abundantly clear that she had no interest of accepting him as a housemate.
Ouch.
And you are fine with this? I do hope you haven't forgotten about what happened at the amusement park. Alice's voice was a mixture of judgment and scrutiny. She was aware that, from an outsider's perspective, she and Alco appeared dangerous. She wanted to know if Soujyuro was up to the challenge of living with such people.
I wish it had all been a bad dream, but I remember it perfectly. Ugh.
Okay. There's no ending quotation.
There's no ending quotation mark there, but okay.
Above all else, it was the only way that they would let him live.
Ugh. I ain't eaten bread for a while.
Oh, we do need to do our little bread thing.
We do need to do the bread tier list.
We'll do it. Well, I mean, if we have time after this, then maybe we can do it quickly, or we can do it tomorrow. We'll do it at a time and place.
Yes.
Things will happen. Alice responded apathetically with a non-committal murmur. She silently placed a small object on the table with a clink. Hold on, I can do that. Hold on.
Oh.
There we go. She pulled her pale fingers away from the small glass bottle.
Does it say drink me?
The glass, more pale blue than transparent, was enough to signify its high quality.
No, it's not. It's not enough. You gotta get like the cookies too. You know.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
You gotta have both.
Make sure a big person doesn't steal it.
Oh God.
We don't need little Jack Horner coming after us. I'm gonna put that right there. Right. With a crane-like motion, she removed the stopper.
What's in the thing? Huh?
Even though this was the first time he had seen such a thing, something about it made him uneasy. Was it that it made him sad, or... Alco's standoffish behavior only added to his concern. Alice once again fixed her eyes on Soujyuro, who was bracing himself for the worst. The glint in her eyes was bewitching. With not a single emotion apparent on her face, she called his name. Dumbass.
You want some first knowledge I just thought about?
Mm-hmm.
Roa and Voldemort have a similar type of immortality.
No.
Okay. Okay. See, no. Okay. See. Hang on. Here's.
They don't.
Okay.
at
Okay.
all.
See, Voldemort's is shit because he needs like other people alive in order to like physically bring him back. Roa can just like persist until he hijacks
Comes
a
back
body.
every 100 years, just like Ganondorf.
like
Roa just
They're not the
built that
same,
man.
but they have a lot of similarities.
yeah, it's similar because like they like
Very.
after they die, their soul just kind of persists in the world until it's able to be brought back into another body. But like for Voldemort, he can't like possess people. He needs other people. Can you? Well, okay, kind of, but
He possessed Quirrell,
well,
sort
yeah,
of, in a
kind
weird
of.
ass way.
Yeah, kind of. But essentially, you need like other people in order to like
Yeah,
at the very least agree to like helping you be brought back into the world. Roa doesn't give a shit.
Look, I just wanted
Roa
to
will
make you
take
suffer.
Roa will take over your body. And Roa will take over your body once you're like a friggin' teenager.
Look, I just wanted to make you suffer with that knowledge.
Fair.
First.
Harry Potter.
The boy
I'm going-
who
See,
lived.
here's the thing. Tonoshiki would have dealt with Voldemort a lot quicker.
True.
So true.
Based.
Real.
Could he kill the killing curse?
Killing curse. Yo. Can you imagine how sick that would look?
Anyways. Suzuki.
Oh.
Why does that note sound like the start to fucking I don't want to say I'm in love, or I won't say I'm in love.
Oh my god.
That was the starting note. No one can tell me otherwise. It's your turn.
Yeah, huh?
The moment he responded to her whispered call, his surroundings began to transform. The air grew thick, so thick it took on a color and shape.
Ah, is this what I
Looks like
think?
jellyfish.
Is this what I think it looks? It is. Have I taken the hallucinogenic drugs?
Have I taken the mythical thing called LSD?
Oh my god.
The LSD?
The density and discomfort that coiled around his skin made it seem like the air had become words. Opening his mouth to gasp for air, the words invaded his lungs. Instinctively, he covered his mouth with his right hand and clutched his chest with his left, both hands appearing clear as mud. Even the thickest of mountain fog never seized his senses like this. If he had to come up with an analogy, no words could quite describe it, but it was like he was standing in the pages of a newspaper. The first sense to adjust to this new sensation was his hearing. Then, his breathing stabilized, yet the feeling of suffocation remained. There was nothing restraining him that he could see, but he felt an intense claustrophobia. Before he'd even felt shock at the sudden change, he reached out in an attempt to find an escape. But his outstretched hands found only emptiness. It seemed contradictory that a place with no walls and a wide view could feel so cramped. Spirited away in a dense fog. Back in the mountains, such superstitions never seemed real to him, until now. And then, he finally noticed. A surprise to beat all surprises. The drawing room had not changed into another world at all. He knew this for certain because he could still see the room he was just in through the fog, as well as the two girls, Alkaozaki and Alice Kuanji, watching him closely. It was simply a problem of perspective. The floor was dark and perfectly flat. Looking up, there the two of them stood. The two girls were like two impossibly gargantuan clouds, coldly looking down at him. Remembering the structure of the room and layout of the furniture, Soujyuro's unsurpassed candor finally grasped his predicament. The parade at the amusement park had nothing on this. Somehow he was inside the glass bottle that Alice Kuanji produced only a moments ago.
Dang. Bro.
Oh, so that's how they carried him.
They put him
the bottle.
inside another bottle. What the hell?
in the bottle you go.
In the bottle you go. Yoink.
Bro. Bro, they carried him around like a Pokeball.
Truly.
Jesus.
A fancy Pokeball.
A fancy looking Pokeball, so true.
Do you think if it breaks, he's gonna die? Or is he just gonna come out?
Good question.
We're probably gonna let him out.
I mean, I hope so.
Eventually. We'll find out.
We'll find out, I guess.
That was unexpected.
You mean unexpected? What? Okay, sure.
Wow.
Marveling at Alice's wickedness, Aoko glanced at the small bottle on the table.
They're both sadists.
It's the same as 2 nights ago, only this time he's awake. Alco calmly mused. Alice, however, was not looking down at the bottle. Instead, her eyes were locked on Alco. I'm surprised. I thought you would be upset. Not really. I thought about doing something similar.
Wow. He cannot catch a break.
No.
They just could keep it in a bottle forever.
In the bottle he goes.
He needed to be taught a little lesson about magecraft anyway.
Okay, get in.
You're saving me the trouble, to tell the truth. I'm not even mad. Though, this is pretty hardcore. Even for you. Or even for me. Points at self. Alco did not take her eyes off the bottle as she spoke. Although she did her best to feign the indifference towards Alice's magecraft, she could not completely hide her curiosity. The figure inside the bottle, likely having caught on to what was happening, tried various things like flailing its arms and sprinting around.
Hey, hello? Anyone there?
Y'all can see me, right?
Just hear a very faint chipmunk voice.
Hello? Can you guys hear me? Hello? Hello?
Can I?
Can I come out now?
Oh my god.
Love it.
The surface of the bottle was cloudy, so it was hard to make out exactly what was happening inside. By the way, this looks totally different from the one you gave me. This one took more time to create. The one I gave you was disposable and only made to isolate the subject. This one allows for two-way communication. Really? He doesn't seem to be replying, though.
Anyone there? No one wants to talk to me right now? Alright.
He just sits down, crisscross applesauce style, just sits and waits.
Exactly.
You just can't hear him.
Just gonna wait.
Can I have some appy slices?
Some apples. Some orange slices.
He did get some apples.
You did.
Before he went to Kitsy Land.
True.
He got a whole bag of them. They're probably rotten by now.
No.
Alice said calmly, finally dropping her gaze to the bottle. Just then, the figure inside stopped moving.
Oh. He's freaking dead.
No, not Soujyuro!
No.
Day Soujyuro dies, I'm gonna riot. I'm gonna find where Type Moon is, and I'm gonna go to their
I'm gonna find
business
Kinoko Nasu.
tower.
You're gonna find Kinoko Nasu and beat his ass.
I'm not gonna beat him, I'm just gonna take him by the collar and shake him aggressively.
What?
Just very, very aggressively.
Alright.
Because I want him to keep making content, I just need him to know that what he did to my boy is unacceptable. It's very important.
Alright.
Anyways, poor Soujyuro. Stop moving. It appeared only Alice had a connection to the world inside the bottle. Lame. Only the caster gets to have fun.
Wow.
Alco sighed, losing interest. Ignoring Alco, Alice opened her mouth as if to speak to someone not altogether there. How about now? Still think this is the safest option? The person she was talking to was none other than the one inside the bottle. She was, of course, referring to Soujyuro's earlier comment. It was her way of testing the boy who implied that living in this mansion seemed safe. Suddenly trapping him in a bottle and interrogating him is pretty ruthless, but even more worrisome is her attachment to this mansion.
Sheesh.
Human rights are being violated here.
Then again, considering Alco had invited this witness to a house of mirrors for a fight to the death, she was in no position to criticize. She would make sure Alice did not let her emotions get the best of her, but for now she was content to observe as a bystander. Huh. After a moment, Alice's expression changed. She must have gotten an answer to her question that you, as the people reading this, don't get to fucking know.
Great. Love that.
Eat shit and die.
Thanks.
I hate this.
Because, you know, there's so many answers that we won't get until, like, the next chapter.
Please.
Or at least it's
Please.
so good.
Please.
I just want to know things.
Please, Miss Holy Knight.
Who's the Holy Knight in this
Knight.
situation?
Yeah, first name first name witch, middle name on, second middle name the, last name Holy
Third middle
Knight.
name. Last name Holy Knight? Okay. Without any way to tell what the situation was inside the bottle, Alco had no idea what the answer was. However, only that Alice's face was the one she made when the boy she was talking to said what she wanted to hear. What? What did she want to hear?
Amogus? What
Oh my God.
what does that mean?
Amogus.
Amogus? I want to
Just
chug
surrounded by the
jug
Among
with
Us
you.
meme. Oh my gosh. It's just the opening to the Great Comet on loop.
Oh my god.
That's all it is. I suppose I'm not one to talk, but... For an instant, she glances at Alco. Slightly shaking her head, she reached for the small bottle.
I didn't get that. Could you try again?
Thank you, Siri.
Did it think that slightly was Siri?
I think so. I did have like it up to like my chest, but like I
Siri
didn't
was
think
talking about that because she was listening in.
Oh Lord.
She wants to read the visual novel.
She's listening in on the playthrough. She also did not
No.
get what Soujyuro was trying to say.
Fair. This Suzuki is quite a strange one. She said his name with what seemed like a forlorn frown. As soon as she removed the stopper, the air in the room quivered. The boy, who had been casting a shadow on the wall until a minute ago, now leaned against it for support again.
Oh. I'm back.
Alco turned around to face Soujyuro right behind her, resting her elbow over the back of the sofa. How do you feel? Wait, please take the words away. I love this picture. I love it. So good. Just so good. Right.
Hey.
Don't give me that look. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I didn't do
You
shit.
put me in a bottle.
I didn't do that. I accept to stay here and not say anything so I get to live, and then you put me in a goddamn bottle.
I'm gonna give you one last stack of pancakes for breakfast
You get
tomorrow.
one. And you're not getting blueberries in yours. No cinnamon apples. Anyways, it's your turn. I think is what it is.
Yes. What's it look like? Messed up.
Soujyuro answered with unusual hostility. Alko was reminded of his strange behavior, as she was sure that he would be scared or shocked, not angry.
If I hadn't already seen something similar in a dream, my heart probably would have stopped. I'm lucky I didn't. No talk. Yankee.
It did happen
talk
in his
Yankee.
dream.
Oh, true.
Maybe he has clairvoyance.
Interesting.
Maybe.
Perhaps.
He was in the bottle, so maybe he was just having like hazy thoughts.
Maybe. Yeah, probably.
That's also fair, but he was like, maybe, I don't know.
Oh.
I don't know. Intriguing.
My jaw's
I'm
been
intrigued.
popping a lot all night.
Dude, I
Dang.
feel that. It's gonna hurt, but if you if you stick your finger right where your jaw connects and you rub it, that helps alleviate some of the tension.
I see.
At least that's what my massage therapist told me. So
Fair enough.
That's what I've
Find
been
the
doing, so it
pressure
helps,
point.
but- Yeah, basically.
I see.
Paralyze yourself through neural pathways.
Oh lord.
What I can't believe is why you felt the need to use magecraft on me. Could've just said it was scary and left it at that. Plus, I could hear the threatening things you said, Aozaki. They weren't very nice.
My sincerest apologies. But it is true that I wanted you to feel it for yourself.
It was weird. Didn't like it.
Right.
Not funny. Didn't laugh.
Ain't funny. No laughing. No talk, me Yankee.
No talk me, Angie. At least now you'll take magecraft seriously, won't you, Soujyuro?
Well,
What
when
made you
didn't
think
I
he
did?
didn't take
When
it
did-
serious there already?
These are just power plays. They're fucking with
It's-
them. These
think I
women
started to-
are horrible.
I think I started taking it seriously when you started shooting me.
As much as he hated to admit it, she was right. Though it was not that he had taken magecraft lightly, but merely that he couldn't understand it.
I barely still do. I still don't really get it. Though, even after that experience. Compared to the crazy stuff I've seen you do, Ozaki, whatever the heck just happened to me was hardly unbelievable.
What? What? Of course not! Alice and I are totally different!
Mm-hmm.
I already told you, even in our world, her magecraft is considered over the top and unspeakably horrible.
Eh.
How rude. When it comes to which of us is more of a threat to human life, I think you're far more dangerous than me.
Oh no, they're having a spat. Is this what it's like? See, Your parents just fighting.
He's just standing there, just awkwardly. He's like, "Can I
go to my room now?"
Can I go back? I know the way. I promise. I won't get lost, and I won't go in the West Wing. Double cross my heart.
You're gonna double
And
cross
that's
them, I see.
No. And that's beside the point. I'm starting to harbor doubts about you even wanting to kill him in the first place.
Oh, thanks, Alzaki.
God. You must have been pretty soft on him for him to say that he believes he's safe here. Well, of course I wanted to kill him. I don't know what he's told you, but you've got it all twisted. This guy doesn't realize he's in danger until he gets burned. And even then he probably thinks, well, at least I'm still alive, and whistle all the way home.
This is probably a real bad situation. But hey. Well, at least I'm still alive.
Starts oh god, what is that? Starts whistling Walking on Sunshine. Isn't that right, Soujyuro?
Huh?
Look at his little face.
He.
Oh, you little baby. I love him. He had no idea why she was suddenly shouting, but he nodded anyway just to be safe.
Uh-huh. What?
I will not be asking questions. The drawing room had become awfully noisy. Alice sat watching the two at a complete loss. And so Soujyuro accepted his supervised life in the mansion. And that he would be living under the same roof as the two professional mages. Having experienced firsthand how dangerous that life could get, he was finally at peace with the situation. Does this mean we're gonna see the lady in the green dress again?
Oh, great. If that's how it's gonna be, then, oh well.
Even if he did not seem like it, he had thought it through in his own way and come to a clear resolution. Okay, down to business. So, I know we said that you're under supervision, but we haven't really talked about how we'll be doing that, or the magecraft that is responsible for enforcing it. Let me start with a brief explanation.
Oh, okay, all right. He sits down. He gets out a notebook.
From somewhere. Perhaps he was brought up to listen closely to lectures about new information, because Soujyuro suddenly looked attentive. Alice, on the other hand, kept her mouth shut in silent defiance. First off, the time you'll be made to live here has been predetermined. In short, until the end of that period, if you don't tell anyone about us, or die for some reason, you're free to go.
Alright, cool. How long's that?
I'll get to that. Give me a second. Good so far, Alice? Indeed. Provided he refrains from angering us, that is. He has a chance of survival.
Yep. This is already off on the wrong foot.
Soujyuro's head dropped, like he knew what was coming. That's enough, Alice. And you, shut up.
Oh, I'm sorry.
She scowled at the two of them, already at her wits' end. As I was saying, having you live with us for the sake of confidentiality means other problems are bound to come up. You'll likely be exposed to even more of our secrets. That's what has Alice so bent out of shape. Now that Aoko mentioned it, Soujyuro could see her point. With their target of observation under house arrest, the disclosure of more confidential information was inevitable.
Hold on a sec. Doesn't that make me being here a little counterproductive?
It's not a problem. In the end, we'll just have you forget everything about us. And about living here at all.
Oh my god, they have a memory wipe spell.
They haven't used it
They
yet?
A mind wipe spell.
Maybe they have to cook it. Maybe it's a potion and not a spell.
If it was a cooking
Because if it
spell,
was a
then
memory
wouldn't-
wipe spell,
Oh, that's fair.
first of all, that's hard to do, but also they want to make sure that he forgets certain things
Probably.
and not his entire life. So,
Right.
Besides, maybe it's like a Frozen thing where he just it's like, hey, these are all the memories, but they just look different in your head.
Don't worry,
Like
I
you
keep
just
the
remember
fun.
them differently. Yes, but don't worry, the fun is still there.
In any
Oh,
case,
okay, this is a
maybe it's
complete
like
side
a
tangent.
ritual thing, so that's why they need to keep him here.
Maybe.
You guys have probably heard this theory, but this is a complete side tangent about the stupid fucking rock trolls in Frozen.
Okay.
They made Hans evil.
What?
But yeah,
They
I
made
remember
Han-
that. I
There's a
remember
theory that they made Hans evil because they wanted her to end up with Kristoff.
Oh. Oh.
Because the whole song Fixer Upper gets if you think about it in the sense of they make Hans evil, the fact that they're like, so she's a bit of a fixer upper, that's a minor thing, we don't see a ring, we can fix this, that kind of thing. And also the fact that they're like, the head is easy to persuade, the heart is a little harder.
Oh.
So we got all that going for us, and the fact that when we meet Hans in the beginning, and he gets pushed into that water, why does he smile? No one's there to see him. That's for us, the audience. Sure, it can be us being led into that false sense of security, but like, who smiles that genuinely and nicely when thinking that he's gonna take over an entire kingdom?
Fair enough, I guess.
Anyways, the rock trolls are evil, and that's my thought of the day. Anyways.
Okay.
There's also stuff to back that up in the Once Upon a Time TV show. I think there's a film theory on it.
Wait, okay, hang on. The TV show?
Yeah. It's not a Frozen TV show. There's a TV show
No,
called Once
I know what
Upon
you're
a Time.
talking about. The TV show that
Yes.
freaking butchered the hell out of the Count of Monte Cristo's story.
That's true, but this is a Disney property. They can't really fuck around with Disney properties.
Sure. Alright.
Disney has like a very hard, tight grip on most shit. To be fair though, the Once Upon a Time show is a different, they do retcon stuff that's in the show for the second movie for Frozen. So we have that going for
Interesting.
us. But obviously everything is with a grain of salt, so.
Like, I mean, whatever, it's fine. I guess they can't bring up the friggin' Napoleonic Wars and the fairy tale land. They removed the
Listen,
fact that he
listen.
broke out of like the literal Alcatraz, the like what is essentially Alcatraz Island, but in France.
French Alcatraz.
Alcatraz.
Alcatraz. I don't know how you would
Chateau
say
d'If, I believe it was called.
Chateauneuf.
Avenger has a noble phantasm. That's called it.
Anyways, that's a big side tangent. Anyways, Soujyuro. We have to focus on Soujyuro.
Have me forget?
Right. From the incident in the park onward, you'll forget everything. There's a kind of magecraft called runes that have the power to make one forget memories. It's a bit inhumane by erasing memories but erasing memories seems a bit better than, well, erasing your life.
A bit
Yeah, right.
inhumane. More inhumane than just murdering him straight up.
Yeah, I guess I can get behind that. Do I get a say in...
Absolutely not. Sorry, but no objections. Anyway, an amnesia rune is outside of our field of expertise, so it's going to take some time for us to find that rune and learn everything about it. In other words, that's when you get to leave. Until we find that rune, we're using your life as collateral, so you keep your mouth shut. Alice's idea is that we destroy your 5 senses and be done with you to avoid the extra effort.
Make him
So,
just...
Suzuki?
What?
What do you say? Fancy becoming a living statue? Genuinely gives it thought. Soujyuro only understood about 80% of what Aoko had explained, and the last part about living statue had gone straight over his head. He had tried his best to visualize what Aoko was going on about, but the only thing he kept conjuring up in his mind was an image of the mascot creature Kitsy.
He just wants to go to Kitsy Land again.
You know, just without the attempt murder.
Soujyuro, please.
Listen, he's trying his best. The poor boy. Also, can we just talk about the fact that anytime they're like silhouetted like this, it just makes me think of, who's that Pokemon? That's it.
Soujyuro Suzuki. Soujyuro.
Hi, y'all. Howdy.
Yeah. I'd, rather not.
Aoko agreed with the bewildered Soujyuro, neither one the wiser to the other's misinterpretation. Anyway, at most it will probably take about a month to find this amnesia rune and another 2 to put it to use. Until then, that means you'll be living with us. However, we can't just let you wander around without a clue what's going on. That's a surefire way to get yourself killed. So, I doubt you would be comfortable being left in the dark about us, either, so starting now, I'm going to fill you in on what it's like to be a modern magician. At the very least, it'll hopefully prevent any more misunderstandings. Not that she thought this country bumpkin had any idea of old or new anyway. The thought brought a smug grin to her lips. Let's leave a tour of the mansion for later, and start with who and what mages are. And don't worry, you don't need to understand everything right away. Pulls out the dry erase board. You're an outsider, after all, so just bite off any of what you can chew. Just something. Grab onto something, please. Oh my god. Soujyuro nodded obediently to Aoko's professional instructions. This was Aoko's way of telling him not to ask any questions when he did not understand something. And though Soujyuro had taken issue with her statement, he meekly obeyed, knowing better than to object now. Aoko nodded approvingly at his attentiveness and started her lecture. Her long, long lecture. Let's start with mages, magicians, basically. Since it doesn't concern you, I'll skip the part about how magecraft and magic are not the same thing. All you need to remember is that they are two different things. Mages are an absolute rule. Mages, as an absolute rule, must operate in secrecy. Naturally, mages will find out about other mages, so it's only a crime if an outsider, like you, finds out about one of us. A crime punishable by death, I should add. The reason being that the more magecraft is exposed, the weaker it becomes. I do have a question.
Yes.
Maybe you can answer this, Keith.
Mhm.
When does it... So can mages marry non-mages?
Yes.
Okay, and then when is it okay to tell your spouse about the fact that you know magic?
That's a good question.
Like, when is that, like, do you have to get, like, a certificate that says, yes, I'm allowed to tell my significant other? Because obviously you have to be married by the time you tell them.
Right.
Because you can't be in a, like, non-committal, signed by law thing, I think. Because if you're just dating someone and you're like, hey, I'm a magician, and then you break up, like, now they know and now they need to die. Like, someone that you previously loved now needs to die. So.
That is a good question. Let's see.
If you find the answer, please tell
Yes.
me. I'm genuinely curious.
Yes, fair.
Because I don't think Tosaka's mom was a mage.
I don't think either. Hang on. Wait. Oh, wait. Yeah. Yeah, okay, every month. Yeah, okay. Aoi was not a mage, no. I think it looks like she knew what it meant to be, or I think she knew about magecraft before she married Tokiyomi. Because it looks like she went into the marriage knowing the consequences of marrying a mage anyways, so.
Okay, maybe before you propose you have to tell them?
Probably?
I guess? Okay, so probably it's one of those things where it's like, hey, I'm really serious about you, but here's something you need to know before we tie the knot.
Probably.
I can do magic, and if you tell everyone, I'll have to kill you.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
Alright. Cool. Alright, that satisfies me. You just have to make sure that it's a very... And then I guess if they say, okay, I don't want to marry you, you have to either wipe their memory or kill them.
Right.
So. Fun.
Yes.
You'll often hear us say mystic or mystery, which comes from a Greek word that means to shut the mouth. It follows that magecraft would cease to be if its secret were revealed. So to shut the eyes of death perception?
To shut the eyes.
To shut the mouth of death perception, I guess?
Yes. I guess.
To shut the mouth eyes of death perception is so fucking funny.
God.
Anyways, civilization has always treated the unexplored and the unknown as things to be feared because of their mysterious nature. But we don't hide ourselves because we fear persecution if we're discovered.
Like the wizards in Harry Potter.
Yeah. They don't fear persecution if they're discovered because, like, clearly they can handle themselves.
Mm-hmm.
No, like, considering Aoko's, like, a novice and she can fire off, like, bullets as fast as a machine gun.
Yeah, if she has enough power.
If she has enough power, granted, but still.
Yeah. But yes, yeah. And she doesn't need a wand.
Yeah, she doesn't need a wand. What
She's got
yeah, what mages
zeal.
do fear is that power going away.
Yeah. What we fear is all mages, or more importantly, magecraft, being weakened to being weakened, our arts are revealed. I think it's supposed to be the second. Our arts.
Yeah, being weakened the second our arts are revealed, probably.
Yeah. Being weakened the second our arts are revealed. So by protecting our secrecy, we're also protecting our own future.
I'm not clear on how magecraft works yet. But I think what you're saying is that if you don't keep it a secret, it gets weaker. Get smart.
He's doing it.
You got it. He's learning. He's beginning to believe.
The cogs are
He's doing it.
spinning.
Look at him go.
So, does that mean that you got weaker now that I saw you, Aozaki? Oh man, I'm sorry.
But how much percent? No, not particularly. Let me explain a little bit more detail. When I say it loses power, I mean magecraft as a whole will get weaker in the future. I'm not talking about individuals. The unwritten law that thou shalt conceal thyself was an adage from the bygone days, but at some point it became a law of the highest order. It's like laws in a civil society. We like to think that it's human nature to punish crime and immortality. Or immorality. I mean, also immortality, but that's it. In immorality. But ultimately, a structural solution is needed to maintain order.
That's fair, but it also is implied that that it isn't within human nature to like good people. So, and be good yourself. But you know,
if crimes were left unpunished, the society we strive so hard to build would collapse. And what we mages consider to be a crime is dissemination and vulgarization of mystic. Merely immoral things like murder, well, those are a matter of perspective, and they generally aren't considered outright crimes. You know, like leaving you out to the gutter, if I wanted. So. The good-for-nothing bunch responsible for imposing this law is a group called the Mages Association. Think of them as a labor union. They live in a fancy goddamn clock tower in England, and I've never seen it because Alice doesn't want to go. She's got the money to fly us out there. I do, but I just don't like you that much. It's like, but we could take a trip. I have schoolwork. We could do it over the summer. Shut up, Alco. They just start getting into another argument.
Should I be present for any of this?
Shush, we'll get to you later. Anyways. The phrase "make eternal the mysticism of magecraft" is nothing more than a rule they created to perpetuate magecraft itself. Nevertheless, the rule is absolute. Those who violate it cease to exist in the magical world. Or rather, it would be difficult for them to go on living at all. For us, that's our life as mages, I guess. In order to protect it, we have no choice but to erase you, the witness to our magecraft. Don't give me those puppy dog eyes. Just because you know a little bit about our lives doesn't mean we're not fessing up to what happened at the amusement park. It was our decision to try and kill you. It wasn't anyone else's fault. So if you're going to blame anyone, blame me. Okay, back on topic. In the past, mages were recognized in society enough for it to be considered an occupation. but they took their own magecraft with them to their graves. I don't know what led to things getting twisted, but even the profession itself has to be kept secret these days. If they didn't go that far, the association feared that in the distant future, magecraft would be used up and the association would fall apart. We had reached a point where everything became explainable through human knowledge, from the building blocks of nature to the fabric of the cosmos, once considered to be the realm of the gods. Maybe the founders believed that magecraft would become the last bastion for the unknown, for mystics that which is beyond human reach. Or maybe they thought that in the long run magecraft would eventually become meaningless. Whatever the reason, mages hid their identities and passed on their individual rituals in secret. And since they couldn't pass it on to outsiders, it was only natural that they taught it to their descendants. Alice and I are both products of generations of lineage.
You know what's real interesting is that apparently it is generally frowned upon for, or not necessarily frowned upon, but also essentially a rule among mages is that it's a taboo to as a teacher to kill your own students, because it goes against mages. It goes against the ideal of passing on the knowledge of magecraft to another generation of people who can practice that magecraft. At least it is generally frowned upon. It's not necessarily a rule, but it is taboo.
I mean, I would imagine killing your student would kind of be, frowned upon. Unless they were suspicious. Unless they looked at you and were like, I'm gonna use all of the things that you've taught me to commit genocide. I think killing them is probably your fault.
That's fair.
So, anyways, Burb. Mages Association, I mentioned earlier, is a vast organization that governs those magecraft wielders still dedicated to their fields. Mages think of them as their ruling body. The association is actually made up of a bunch of factions, and the vast majority of mages are affiliated with the London chapter. The law to conceal ourselves was one of their 3 main principles. If a mage reveals their secret to a civilian, the association is quick to make an example of them. But even if the mage doesn't get punished, the witness still should be eliminated to protect the mage and their family's magecraft. And that was the end of the first part of the lecture. Alko paused for a moment. Soujyuro was doing his best to process the information. Why is it always the women that I voice that goes into, long explaining spiels?
Teach me, Alko Sensei.
Teach me, Alko Sensei.
We have this whole lecture from Alko, and then we had that long dead apostle rant from
Arkwide.
From Arkwide.
And then Reen is the one who explains the Holy Grail War.
Yeah. I'm just gonna lecture everyone. That's my thing. Yeah. That's just the thing from the women I voice.
Yeah, I mean...
I'm all here for it. It's a good time.
Fair enough.
That's why I have my fun little
I think the whole
thing that I don't think if I actually said what it is
propaganda.
YouTube would be happy. So.
What's propaganda?
The secrecy rule. Has it been? I'm just wondering if magecraft has actually gotten weaker. because of people
Yes.
People
People can track that, yeah.
yeah, it's I mean, obviously it was like it was a lot more powerful like thousands of years ago.
So that's confirmed then that it used to be very, very powerful.
Oh yeah, no, immensely powerful. Like people like were tossing
Got it.
around true magic like candy in a candy store.
Well, yeah, and especially considering back in the olden days, we have casters. I mean, look at
Yeah, there's tons of like like generally speaking, caster class servants are a lot more powerful than modern mages. That's
oh
the
yeah,
reason.
like Medea, for
Yeah.
example, in Ultimate
Yeah,
Unlimited
Medea
Playlists,
is straight up able to use or at least mimic true magic within a confined space. But
yes, they literally like she outdoes their alchemy in that one
yeah,
episode. Like when we find out her backstory, she literally like triples what he's able to make.
right.
Just basically from nothing.
Yeah. Like her understanding and power over and mastery over magecraft or yeah, over magecraft is so much higher than like what modern mages are capable of or even like are able to perceive is
Mm-hmm.
that in that she is like she literally says that her skill level is a dimension above above like a member of the Mages Association.
It's great.
So yeah,
Bruh.
it's gotten a lot weaker over time.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay, I just want clarification because I was slowly starting to think that this might have all been propaganda. But okay, that makes sense.
Oh yeah, no, it's gotten a lot weaker. I
Mhm.
believe
It's an
so
actual thing. Gotcha.
yeah. Yeah, especially so given that a lot of like stuff like phantasmal beasts or rather magical creatures are all mostly hidden away. They've literally retreated to to like a side of the earth known as the reverse side of the world. Stuff like where like Avalon is, etc., etc. Um, and
Preservation.
yeah, and like yeah, magical creatures are essentially either extinct or literally not anywhere that a regular person would be able to cross.
Yeah.
And there and like in it's even said that like in prehistoric times the uh mystery was so abundant that like the air was like dense with mana,
Mm-hmm.
which also implies that dinosaurs are some of the most powerful creatures in the Nasuverse, but like I won't get into that.
Maybe dinosaurs could breathe fire. Who
Who
knows?
knows? I don't know. Who knows, really?
Can you imagine they sneeze and a little smoke comes out like just little lightning? Anyways.
Yes.
Soujyuro was doing his best to process this information.
Okay, it's downloading. It's downloading. It's being.
I think I got it, but also I'm gonna need you to say it all again.
Ah, no, a blue screened.
No, not the blue screen of dead. Ready to move on?
Question: will this be on the test?
Yes, everything will be
Ah,
on the test.
nuts.
Corn nuts.
Sure, but let me see if I understand so far. So, mages used to hide their identities not for their own sake, but for the sake of magecraft. Now, they're more concerned with hiding themselves. And if you break the rules, you'll be punished by a place called the Association. Does that mean you two are members of the Association?
No, we're freelance. Though we walk in similar circles. They're simply the largest organized group, even though no one asked them to. They've taken it all upon themselves to police the world of magecraft.
Yeah, basically. Most mages are freelance, rather. It's just that the Mages Association is, for the most part, able to track how and where and how magecraft is happening.
Yeah.
At least on like a big scale that they're able to like get there. They're able to like send someone in if things are going way too awry, you know?
Yeah. So no matter how unaffiliated we are as mages, if we break the rules, we'll get punished anyway.
Okay. Think I got the gist of it.
It's alright. Just focus on the parts important to you. Next is magecraft, though I've barely learned enough to talk about it myself.
Eh?
Sorry, forget I said that. I touched on this already, but these days magecraft is losing its meaning. If you created fire a long time ago, when there were no lighters, that was enough to count as a mystic feat. But nowadays, life is awfully convenient, right? You of all people can appreciate that. Soujyuro nodded with a glum look on his face. He had been made painfully aware of such conveniences. Difficult tasks that would occupy an entire day of work in the mountains could be performed easily here. For him, having been brought up in the mountains without electricity or running water, city life was, by definition, magic. He only wished it would not be such back-breaking work to adapt to said conveniences.
Oh. I do think that creating fire without tools should be a god's job, though.
Even though we've worked out how to do it more efficiently with a flamethrower. Soujyuro wasn't sure how to answer Oko. It would have been easy for him to ask Aoko how much accumulated effort she thought it had taken humans to imitate those gods, but he knew it would come across as an insult.
From what I just saw, I was under the impression that magecraft could do anything. But maybe I misunderstood.
He glanced at the glass bottle on the table. Mentally, he sighed in relief. He still had not come to terms with the fact that he had been trapped inside that tiny thing.
Post-traumatic bottle disorder.
However,
PTBT or PTBD.
oh, that's a misunderstanding, all right. If magecraft wasn't all-powerful, why would anybody bother to learn it? Aoko puffed out her chest as she chid him. It might take some doing, but there's nothing magecraft can't do. Granted, some users are able to trick you into thinking something's possible when it really isn't. But since we were born into this world, there's nothing we can't do within its limits. Besides true magic, of course. But we'll get into that some other time. What I'm trying to say is that magecraft doesn't create miracles. It's only the process that's miraculous. To produce a real miracle, you need true magic. A great mage is someone who can fly a passenger jet with only their magecraft. Their own magecraft. Meanwhile, a magician deals in making the impossible possible. Which is why we might just turn out to be the last magicians. Focus, Aoko. Alice had been quietly listening until she muttered her rebuke. As if Aoko had crossed a line. He doesn't need to know that.
I'd like to know that. Me?
We all would.
You got something to share with the class?
I would like to be part of the class, and I would like you to share it with me,
Hello?
please.
Yes, me, Mr. Not.
In true magic, turn the
Mr.
sun into a meatball.
Oh my god.
Probably. I don't know why you'd want
Yeah.
that, but like, I don't know why you'd want that, but like, probably.
They said it can make the impossible possible. So maybe could that happen with true magic? That's what I'm asking.
See, but our question is, why would you want that? It's not if it could happen, because it could.
It definitely could. There's a 100% chance that like true magic would be possible of doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Like how? I don't know, but it'll happen. It would happen. Well, not would, but it can.
For Alco to turn the sun into a meatball.
You have not answered the why.
You have not answered the why. Anyways, Alice was talking. Shouldn't we be educating Suzuki on the dangers of living with us? Sorry, you're right. Slip of the tongue. Anyway, mages spend every waking moment experimenting in magecraft, and would become devils in a heartbeat in order to protect their magecraft. By which I mean their family secrets. Their lairs, which we call workshops, are like fortresses packed with all kinds of magical mechanisms. Like traps that kill intruders before they even know what hit them. It's all to protect our secrets.
Hypothetically, could you blow up this whole thing? Could you blow it up with C4?
If there's not a protection spell on it, maybe.
Huh. Wonder if someone's done that already.
Oh my god.
Fucking hard cut to Fate Zero.
See, my brain just went to step away from the bomb. This little thing, hardly call this a bomb. Now the packs of thermals upstairs, those are bombs. This mansion is no different. If you wind up trapped like you were before because you wandered around carelessly, even I won't be able to help you. So be careful. So be careful of the dark. You might even find yourself stuck inside a mirror. Seriously, that can actually happen. Soujyuro so hoped they would provide him with a general idea of what to watch out for, but he passed. What? Okay, anyways. But he passed, knowing that he was unlikely to get a straight answer. Oh, okay, I understand the structure of that sentence now.
Oh, okay.
I understand now. He passed in asking,
Yes.
because... Okay.
Yeah.
Brain works. I understand the structure. That was a lot to take in one go, but my point is, keep your nose out where it doesn't belong. Even though we're going to erase your memory in the end, there are still things that we'd have to kill you for seeing.
Got it. The mansion has rules I have to follow. I understand. There anything else I should...
His eyes wandered as he trailed off mid-sentence, pondering. He understood that the mansion was more dangerous than outside, and the magecraft needed to stay secret. But the explanation seemed to contradict his current problem. For starters, how would he manage to witness something that they took such pain to keep hidden?
I'm sorry. It just occurred to me. Mages are all united under the organization called the Association, right? If that's the case, why were you attacked by that puppet, Aozaki? If its master was a mage, wouldn't that mean you were fighting an ally? Am I missing something here?
I was saving that for last.
Oh. Alright. I can wait.
Normally, this would be the point of the story where I'd say I made it all up or laugh it off.
Nah, I believe you.
You should not.
Thanks, Soujyuro, I guess.
You're welcome.
Even if you'd experienced it, the existence of magecraft shouldn't be something you accept so easily. Aoko scratched her head as though troubled by how Soujyuro could take every word at face value. Across from her, Alice's face I think it's supposed to be portrayed no expression, but she shared the same opinion.
Is that so weird?
It's mega weird. In fact, you've been weird from the get-go. A normal person would be shocked, scared, unwilling to accept our existence. Why do you, of all people, believe me when I say I'm a magician?
'Cause you're cool.
I don't know how to feel about that.
Maybe you should feel cool.
In retrospect, this question should have posed at the House of Mirrors. Back then, though, Soujyuro was surprised by seeing the phenomenon of magecraft for the first time. He showed no surprise or discomfort towards Aoko, the mage wielding it. Feeling the probing stare of the two mages, made Soujyuro feel uneasy. From where he was standing, their suspicion was suspicious in and of itself.
Their sussery of him was sus in and of itself. There's no reason at all, really. Up in the mountains, people just accept things as they are. We don't deny something we see in front of us just because we don't have the knowledge to explain it. You said it yourself. Lighters and magic might as well be the same thing, right?
Though they weren't really the same to him anymore, he added quietly before shutting up.
Yeah, I probably shouldn't say that out loud.
That sounded better in my head. What he said about those innocent days in the mountains had come from the heart. The words resonated with not only Aoko Aozaki, but also Alice Kuanji. It was something everyone should have. Principles to stand by. Like a hero of justice or something.
Hero of justice?
Ayo, Southern hero of justice.
Hero of justice?
A howdy of justice?
Oh my god.
Yeah.
He's the howdy of justice. Indeed, to this boy, those words were unshakable truth. some things are the way they are. I see what you're saying.
Look, this is something I say a lot to other people, alright? So, repeat what I say. It is what it is.
What it is. It is what it is.
So he's not only from the mountains, he's also a New Yorker.
They don't think it be like
Hey.
it is, but it do.
Hey, I'm walking here.
Oh my god.
That's like I tried to say it in a southern accent. It didn't really go well. That was my attempt, by the
Fair.
way. It doesn't. They don't blend well.
No, not really.
She was impressed, if only slightly. If this boy, no matter how much of an outlier he was, could accept the things around him, he'd be able to get through this just fine. That's a good way of explaining it, Soujyuro.
Oh, thanks.
I guess the fault's with us for not believing you sincerely. Alice just being like, speak for yourself.
Dang.
Much like when Alco met Soujyuro for the first time. In that classroom on his first day, Soujyuro took everything that was happening in his stride. The memory brought a bitter smile to Alco's face. Who knew they'd end up here, with her nearly killing him, nearly dying, killing a moon. Crazy.
Keeping him hostage.
Their butts.
And now, they might be considered buds. Alright, let's get back on track. To your earlier question, for various reasons, there are mages that don't belong to the association at all. Those are the evil, icky ones. We don't like them. There's part of me that feels like, I know that she didn't bring out a drawing board or anything like that, but this just like, I feel like she should have flashcards.
Fair.
I feel like flashcards is very Alco. Right?
I can
Like she
get
just
it.
has
I understand.
like
Fair
this,
enough.
like this is the
One-
association, it's just a tower of Big Ben.
Oh my
Like, just
And like
association.
little scribblings
London.
of good mages.
You think it's
Good
probably like
mages.
really detailed?
And then another
picture
and
of-
then another card with like an ugly cave with like monster looking things. Just stick figure monsters that are labeled bad
What was-
mages.
Keith, do you remember what kind of car it was that guy from Princess Jellyfish really liked? Was it a Rolls Royce? I can't remember if it was a Rolls Royce.
Oh my god, it was a friggin'
Or was it Mercedes? No, it wasn't a Mercedes.
The guy from
from
Princess Jellyfish.
yeah, I'm pretty sure it was a Mercedes.
Was it Mercedes? Okay, so she's like that, where she can draw like one thing really, really well, and then everything looks like a fucking crayon drawing.
God.
So it's like a picture. It's like good mages, and it's a picture of her and Alice, like just scribble drawed. But then it's like, and then this is the mages. This is the Mage Society, and it's like a beautiful picture of Big Ben.
Jesus Christ.
Like she can draw inanimate objects, but people, no, absolutely not. She only gets landmarks. That's it. She can't draw anything else.
Oh my god.
Right, here's,
Yeah, Mercedes Benz.
they do as they please. It was a Mercedes? Oh,
Yes.
good. Okay. I'll buy you that new Mercedes. Yo, my man!
Yo.
What up? They do as they... Oh, no, this is Alco talking. Stupid. They do as they please behind the association's back and fight other mages for their personal gain. The Puppet Master is one of those types. Those jerkwads were a convenient, easy target. But just because we have an arrangement with the association doesn't mean we're one of them. It's not like we'll come to save the day if we're at risk of being killed. If they'll come to save the day if we're at risk of being killed.
Ain't mages forbidden from using magecraft?
As long as it's not in public, the association turns a blind eye. Heck, they practically encourage fights between mages, as long as it's kept a secret. Like we don't use it. Like if we don't use it, we'll get rusty or something. Anyway, the attacks on us are a different story, and have to do with the fact that we own land.
Ah.
Spooky land.
By land, you mean this house?
Oh, please, just this house? Alice and I hold the rights to the entirety of Misaki City. We're administrators of the whole region.
Ah.
I'm sorry.
Damn. They own the whole city?
How rich are they?
That's a lovely question. I'm sure most of it is under Alice's name.
Probably.
So.
Most definitely.
Same.
Look at my little baby, look at
Same.
him.
Me too, buddy.
Hold on, let me take a little pic. Look at him. Oh my god, I love him so much.
Me too, bud.
He's so cute.
Me too. Same.
It's a lot of zippers on his
Own
pants.
all the land.
You do be having a lot of pockets.
Do they
Those are a
collect
lot of
tax
pockets.
money from the people?
Probably.
God. Administrators, you own all the land in Misaki?
Rich as fuck people.
We have never seen that face from him.
Oh my god.
I don't think we've ever seen that face.
He's
It's
not confused
horrible.
about the magecraft, but he's wowed by the fact that they own this much of the land.
Truth
He
be
lived
told,
on a mountain.
so am
right?
I.
The same.
It's same here. Fucking hell.
Look
But-
at him, the poor
But for some reason, they
baby.
can't afford a gardener.
They don't want
I
one.
don't- yeah, fair enough.
I guess.
That's exactly the noise. Dazzled, Soujyuro looked away. Blinded by the light. He was sure he could see a halo of light around
It's
Alco.
too bright.
He had
Dazzled
only
by
been
the
renting an
richness.
apartment for 2 weeks, but he was already aware of how magnificent the prospect of owning land in the city might be.
You're...
It's just
Rich.
the light is glowing
Rich.
out of the
Oh my god.
Rich.
The word Soujyuro was trying to articulate was rich.
Rich.
He shook all over with an emotion he didn't fully grasp.
Rich. You're rich. You...
He sounds like he's tweeting like a bird. Just
Oh my god. It's like friggin' Gojo when he's going just friends.
Exactly.
So much money.
Oh my god.
Hold it. You're thinking about this all wrong. When we say land, we're talking about the ownership and control of spiritual grounds as mages.
Oh. Okay.
Oh, good.
Good.
Sure.
Phew. Phew.
All right. I mean, that's still a lot of land to own, but okay.
Also, I imagine Alice is still a goddamn billionaire.
Yeah, I mean, Alice owns this mansion. This mansion is the Kuanji mansion, so. The Ozaki family might be a minor player, but they've got old roots here as mages, which is why Misaki falls under our jurisdiction. When I say we administer the land, I'm talking about a place where spiritual power is distorted and gathered easily. This type of land has always been valuable, and it's vital to the experimentation and practice of magecraft. After all, the three pillars of what makes a successful mages are a strong workshop, lots of disciples, and fertile spiritual grounds. To us, owning administered land and a residence to live in are number one on the priority list.
Ah.
Soujyuro let her continue while wondering exactly who these two girls were to have achieved both ambitions already. However, most sacred grounds have already been claimed by the association. There's nothing left for anyone else. Rogue and landless mages have no choice but to borrow land from the organization in exchange for a monthly donation. They're basically worker bees, slaving away for the top dogs at the association. But this land here, it's been in my family for hundreds of years, so the association can't get their grubby hands on it. Do you understand what I'm saying, Soujyuro? To rogue mages, our land is the juiciest fruit there is. Soujyuro nodded to himself, unsure whether to call the conversation mundane or outright disturbing. Both.
Ah, I get it. So you're basically fighting over the land.
Pretty much. But because the administered land of Misaki is so minor, its challengers have been third-rate. The enemy this time is probably some small fry thinking the place was low-hanging fruit. Though for now, we're on a ceasefire because of your intrusion. That's enough about administered land, Aoko. Suzuki seems to understand the point that there are other mages out there apart from us. If any danger exists, it's most likely to arise as a result of him becoming involved in one of our battles. He'll be fine. Besides, this guy has zero trace of magical energy, so there's no chance of him being sensed. Plus, he has less tactical value than a watchdog, so shouldn't be a target anyway. We just have to make sure he doesn't escape before we can find the amnesia rune. Alice silently stared her partner down. Their ideas of involving Soujyuro differed greatly in both gravity and risk. Aoko's lack of experience had led her to believe that Soujyuro would not get directly involved in any fighting. It was an honest and rational thought. Aoko despised wasted action, so it was natural for her to expect the same frugality from her enemies. However, there were those in the world who could not tell right from wrong until it was too late. No one knows what the future will bring. I only hope that when the time comes, we won't regret this. With a gloomy sigh, Alice came to her feet. I'm not done with the lecture yet. You don't think that was entirely for Suzuki's benefit, do you? Your opinion matters the most, and we still haven't heard it all. If you must stick to your plan, that's fine. I'll stick to mine. Alice glided soundlessly to the door. As the girl in black opened it, and she paused, barely lit by the dim corridor. Then, without warning.
Oh, jeez.
To the rhythm of her footsteps, the small glass bottle floated into the air and shattered without mercy.
Oh. Okay. Woohoo.
Alco just like, God damn it. That is what I should have done earlier. Her sharp tone made Sojuro's face go pale. Alice's voice was so quiet it was hard to tell if she was being serious or mocking him. I forgot to mention something. She icily eyed them before turning away. And in a voice even colder than her gaze, stated, I'm still not happy with this arrangement. Her frigid departure seemed to forebode the many difficulties that lay ahead. She is such a sore loser. Akko leaned back in the sofa while hurling abusive epithets. Her face looked even more irritated than usual. She says letting you go and letting you stay here are out of the question, but I don't see her coming up with any bright ideas. She's as stubborn as a mule. I'm gonna put a past her to resort to violence to get her way. Soujyuro threw a wary glance at Alco while she grumbled. He wondered what Alice's show of defiance meant, shattering the glass bottle like she did. I thought I could convince her by including the backstop, that we could erase your memory, but she's having none of it. It's rare that Alice is even cognizant of other people, and maybe having you live here was a step too far for her. She was fine when you were sleeping, but once she saw you awake, it must have roused her sadistic side. Watch your back, Soujyuro. She just might come to finish you off. If anything, Alco's warning was an indication of that persuading Alice had hit a dead end.
Somehow, it don't seem like the situation has changed from the other night, Aozaki.
She sought him a unconcerned look in reply.
Mean it, really. That girl is just itching to finish what you started. Next time I make eye contact with her, I might not walk away alive. This must be what people call a cliffhanger.
I'll try to make sure that doesn't happen. Besides, Allison isn't feeling as urgent as I was at the amusement park, so there's always a chance that she'll get over it by herself.
You mean her reason for wanting me dead is different from yours?
Yeah. The time in the park was because of our strict adherence to the secrecy law, but we've solved it for now. Even Alice understands how creepily earnest you are. So she should have no reason left to worry about confidentiality. At this point, she probably just doesn't want you to live here, hence her desire to murder you. I feel like that shouldn't be your next step, though.
It's fine.
I feel like if he reaches out and touches her, her brain's gonna short circuit.
Oh god.
She said so matter-of-factly, her eyes cold and serious. Soujyuro had hoped for a trace of deceit or exaggeration, but alas.
I did get that impression from her. But it's strange. If that's how she really feels, then surely we can find another solution.
Perhaps feeling guilty about putting Alice out, Soujyuro looked uncharacteristically concerned. Alko immediately knew what his words really meant. You mean like keeping you locked up inside that tiny glass bottle until we find the magecraft needed to erase your memory? The apathy in her voice until now was gone. Soujyuro answered with a simple nod. In truth, it was undoubtedly the easiest solution for all parties concerned. However, Soujyuro, I don't break promises. Remember that. She hated taking the easy way out. And that quiet fury was clear in her soft words. As for where the fury was directed, Soujyuro was actually acutely aware. The pain in his chest made him regret asking her say those words.
I'm sorry. I wasn't thinking.
His sudden apology caused her unusual sullen expression to return. Alko had not appreciated how angry she was, let alone the reason for it. To her, his apology had come out of nowhere. I don't get you at all sometimes. What are you apologizing for this time? She stared at Soujyuro, unblinking.
Oh, I'm not sure myself. I guess I just feel like I should.
Even in saying he was not sure, Soujyuro had answered honestly. Alko was at a loss for words.
But I get what you're trying to say, Aozaki. Keeping a promise is more about the process than the outcome.
He shot her a brazenly honest smile. That smiling face, filled with blissful ignorance, almost made her smile back instinctively. Now you get it. If life were only a means to an end, I couldn't live with myself. Alko attempted to cover her embarrassment with a quick retort. Though unintentional, having her true feelings exposed like this made Alko a little uncomfortable. Finding offense in something was second nature to Alko. Being made to feel uncomfortable was not. Though far from being unhappy at the remark, she turned away from its speaker. To disguise her perceived shame, Alko started up the conversation again. If I say I'll let you go, you can be sure I'm going to do just that, regardless of how I feel. And if letting you live here is what it takes to keep my promise, I can take it, even if it means Alice and I butt heads. Even if they're just idle threats, there's no way I would let her bottle you up forever.
Thanks. Now I get why you've given up trying to persuade her. She won't be persuaded anymore. Oh, so that's why you called it a Cold War.
It's not as if I'm doing this for you. I'm just keeping my promise. Like you said, I've done my part. Now it's your turn. Soujyuro, the ball's in your court.
Huh?
He replied, tilting his head. Alright, listen up. I spent 2 entire days arguing and trying to convince Alice into agreeing to this cohabitation idea because, hello, I was the only one capable of doing it. And I've hit a dead end. From now on, I'm taking a hands-off approach. I'll protect you from Alice for the time being, but in the meantime, you're the only one who can convince her to accept you, Soujyuro.
What?
Soujyuro had not expected that at all. Alice Kuanji. The girl in black who kept everything and everyone at arm's length. If Alko was a modern-day mage in hiding, then Alice was a bona fide witch from the Middle Ages.
Aozaki, you understand how difficult that'll be, right?
Of course I do. And now you know how I feel. Alko stood up from the sofa. This was the end of the discussion, at least for now. So now you have an idea of what kind of people we are. The less involved you are in magecraft, the better. So I'll spare you any further lectures. The long and short of it is, you'll be living here for 3 months. Your first objective, or first trial, if you like, is to somehow get Alice to accept you as her roommate.
A trial? You just called it a trial.
Sugarcoating it won't do you any favors. After all, blow it and you're dead man. Remember? With her cold-blooded remark, Alko started walking towards the door. Oh, and one more thing. About your room. It's up on the 3rd floor. There's a set of stairs on the far side of the 2nd floor hall, so use those. Also, this is not a dorm, so you're free to spend your time however you want. But whatever you do not go into the West Wing!
What's in the West Wing?
I rent the East Wing, so it should be relatively safe in comparison, but still, it's generally safer to not wander around.
Oh my god. Oh my...
It is forbidden.
I knew it.
Oh my god.
Why? What's in it?
The West Wing is
Oh my
forbidden.
god.
Rar.
Why is it always not to go into the West Wing?
Don't go into the West Wing.
Well, no, technically. Tsukihime was don't go into the East Wing. The West Wing was fine, so... He lived in the West Wing. It was the East Wing that was a no-no, if I remember correctly.
Right. I do remember this, yes.
Yeah. So.
At least he has a TV in this one.
True.
That's
Fair. He
That's
does
fair.
have a
They
TV in this one.
And maybe he'll make friends with the little burb.
Burp.
Hey, if he makes friends with the burb, that means he'll probably be able to make friends with Alice, because the burb is really good friends with
True.
Alice.
He did live in the mountains. Maybe he could sing like a Disney princess and attract the bird.
You know what? Did he just start singing Country Roads?
Soujyuro is Witch on the Holy Night's Disney princess.
If he makes friends with the bird, Vicky will hate him.
Oh no!
Do it.
Oh well. Anyways.
Anyway.
It is
No
what it
wandering around.
is.
In other words, the safest place for you are your room and the drawing room. And maybe the bathroom, if you're lucky.
What's in the bathroom?
Us. Sometimes.
Oh. Yeah, okay, I guess so.
I think it's the only bathroom that they have in the house, to be honest. Considering that's like the one that they seem to only use.
Fair enough, I guess. Wait, is that really all you're gonna tell me about the mansion? Aosaki, that's messed up. That seems way more important to explain than magecraft.
He desperately called out to her as she began to leave the drawing room. Alko could not help but pity Soujyuro.
No. Can't you at least show me around?
Sorry, but I'll have to pass. Showing a country bumpkin the lay of the land twice is plenty enough for me. Plus, you just woke up. Why not take it easy in your room for the rest of the night? I'll show you how to get to school in the morning. It's not like I made a free time. My obligation to put up with you ends as soon as final exams are over. If you don't find some way to make nice with Alice, or find some way to blackmail her within a week, well, you know what happens. You know what that means.
Yeah.
With barely a wave of goodbye, the student council tyrant walked away. He unconsciously clenched the hand he had raised. Oh, you baby! Left all alone, he was at a complete loss. Then, as if to encourage him,
Burp.
Yay, burp! Chip, chip, chip!
Burp.
Chip, chip, chip!
Burp.
With the sound of lightly fluttering wings, a blue robin appeared out of nowhere. The tiny chubby bird innocently looked Soujyuro up and down. The blue robin, a bird said to bring happiness according to folklore, flapped its little wings as if to cheer him on. Then with a flutter it mercilessly flicked off the lights.
Dang.
We have a bill to pay! You can't be alert keeping all the lights on, newbie! Go to your room!
Oh my god.
Oh my god! I'll let this motherfucker in!
I don't think the bird has a name, by the
No.
way. I think it's just been referred to as the robin.
Pretty sure, yeah.
I love that. Leaving Soujyuro alone in the drawing room, Alko returned to her bedroom. She closed the door to her room, and as soon as she sat on the bed, she was overcome by an unexpected wave of exhaustion. Soujyuro had no way of knowing, but she had been preparing for war. In the event that Alice impulsively pulled out a ploy, Alko had to be ready to react in an instant. She sighed heavily. But not from the fatigue she felt in fighting with Alice. Was I too hard on him? She frowned a dejected frown. What weighed on Alko's mind was not Alice, but the adorable little country bumpkin just a floor away.
Oh my god.
Yeah. I mean, going easy on him wouldn't do him any favors either. The best thing he can do for himself is to lay low. It would be trouble if he wandered around like he owned the place after all. The safest thing for him would be if he held up in his room, too scared out of his wits to leave it. Also, I hope that he can guess his cardinal directions.
That's fair.
Because, like, sure, he lived in, like, the mountains and stuff, so you'd assume he's, like, decent at it. But also, I just hope he doesn't accidentally go into the West Wing. That's all I hope for him. God, I hope he doesn't think I'm an ally or something. Alice is the lucky one. I'd kill to have him treat me as a stranger. No, you don't. She nodded to herself, agreeing with her to take on the situation. For the most part, it was a sound plan. If there was a problem, it would be this.
Sorry, Aozaki. I just got one quick question.
Oh my god, he followed her.
Oh my god.
Now 10 minutes has passed since leaving him in the drawing room. For Soujyuro to shrink off what she had said and visit her room so fast, it was like he had no sense of danger at all.
Heyo.
He's a little boy.
I need to go outside.
Oh my god. And I would like some supervision when I go outside your front door, so that way Alice doesn't use it as a reason to turn her body cam footage off and kill me.
To turn her body cam footage off. Holy shit. Oh my god.
Oh no. Oh no.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
That was...
Anyways, the poor boy needs to go outside.
I need to...
Whoa. Whoa.
Gabe, you said weirder.
I'm so sorry.
Can we put this on YouTube?
Yes, we can, I promise.
Okay.
You've said weirder.
Whatever, it's fine.
It's fine. Of course, he would ask to leave the house. Alco lacked the energy for a sarcastic barb.
It's recess.
I'd like to go play outside just for a
Can I
little
go
bit.
on the jungle gym?
Oh my god, turns out he's a fucking werewolf. He has to go outside to absorb the moon energy or something.
Absorb the moon energy.
It's like oh god, what is it called? Solar power, but lunar power, which is basically discount solar power.
God, Jesus. It's like how dead apostles and true ancestors. I won't wander around the mansion, and I'll come right back when I'm finished. I just figured I should check if there was a curfew or anything.
Work, is it?
How'd you know?
Soujyuro exclaimed in surprise. When it was Alco who desired to display her shock to him. Fine, you can go.
Okay. I can pay my rent.
You should make sure you're back on the estate by 10 every night. As long as you can keep to that curfew, you can go work your after-school job. Have a barbecue in the garden. Do whatever you want. I don't care. The front door is never locked anyway.
I get the impression you're, angry with me.
I'm angry, alright? Just not with you. I'm angry at myself for caring what happens to you. And before you go out, take this pill.
Eh?
Soujyuro took the purple pill from her outstretched hand and dubiously put it in his mouth.
Oh.
Yum yum. Didn't even take like a glass of milk. Nothing. Like nothing to wash it down. Damn.
A hard swallow.
That's a lot of saliva.
It's just that easy. I've done that sometimes, to be honest.
I mean, I've done that. I hated it, but
Why would you ever do that?
I mean, it's not that bad.
I think we've taken different medicines. Did you take one that were like hard compressed ones, or did you take ones that had like the plasticky looking
Both.
outsides? Okay. I don't like, okay, if it's hard pressed, I don't like it because if you have it in your mouth for too long, it starts to dissolve and it tastes sick.
Right.
But yeah, it's not like horrible. It's just
Yeah, I've done both.
fair. I don't think I read
Oh.
that. I don't remember if I read that or not. He took it into himself. He told himself that it must be some kind of medicine.
Alright. I'm off then. Thanks for everything, Aozaki.
He fully turns, takes one step. Oh, and don't leave through the window this time.
Sorry, what was that? It's already like half open.
He's already got one foot out.
Oh, I was just doing some isometric exercise.
Jesus
Soujyuro
Christ.
laughed himself all the way to the foyer, unsure of what exactly he had found funny. Aoko watched him go, both indifferent and amazed all at once. Well, that happened about half a day earlier than planned. He was supposed to take his first pill tomorrow morning. She huffed, ruffling her hair in exasperation and returning to her room. Discerning what made Soujyuro tick was a waste of brain matter. It's faith, trust, and pixie dust, obviously. In all likeliness, he was more concerned about missing 2 days of work than his own well-being after being bedridden for 2 days.
I'm back.
With the day's
Oh,
work
I'm,
behind him, Soujyuro returned to the mansion.
What was that? What was that, Frank?
Oh, nothing.
What? Oh, okay.
Soujyuro's back!
He's back from work.
He just walks into the mansion. Honey, I'm home.
And then Alice, just like somewhere, just throws a dagger
Oh
at him.
god.
She's like, "You woke me up."
Dead.
Absolutely.
This
dead.
must be it. It's the only set of stairs leading up from the second floor hall.
It was just before midnight. This was the scene that awaited him beyond the rickety staircase. Oh, look, a window for him to go out of.
Yo. Oh. Wonder if I could get out from that window.
Oh, God. Not much surprise, Soujyuro. Rather, being surprised had become normal to him. This scene, however, was enough to leave him speechless. This room allotted to Soujyuro. No matter how he looked at it, no matter how he ran it through his mind, was without a shadow of doubt an attic.
Yep. Hmm. Well, chilly, ain't it?
There are 100 rooms in this mansion.
He got the attic.
Yep.
Ah,
This chapter is called Like a Dog, so or something
Yes.
akin to that.
yeah, it was like a dog.
This treatment stirred a tingling of anxiety in him. Just as he was about to flop onto the taut sheets of his bed, wondering if he could make this work despite his share of other problems, he noticed an awkward courtesy, so meager as to be useless. Something to use if you get cold. Consider it a gift. Or don't, I don't care. The message in the memo pointed to the meticulous personality of the author. The bed had been perfectly prepared. Carefully setting aside the blanket that had been painstakingly placed on the edge of the bed for him in case he needed it, he looked up at the sky. Though faint, the stars twinkled through the skylight. For a mountain boy, that meager light was more than enough for him. The stark contrast with the drawing room had caught him off guard, but now that he had collected himself, it was not so bad. The room fit his personality. Even if he still was not used to the building, he felt more at ease here than he did in any building in the city. Perhaps because it was built on a hill, surrounded by woods.
There we go.
The atmosphere here was a little closer to the mountain where he used to live.
Oh. Is it normal for there to be fog inside the house?
He crooked his neck, pondering over the spectacle he had witnessed. On the way to his room, Soujyuro had encountered what looked like fog in the foyer on the second floor. Misty fog drifted into a portion of the corridor, reminding him of a swarm of mosquitoes. Huh.
How strange.
That seems like magic afoot.
No, I'm sure that's just regular old fog.
As he stared at it, he swore he could make out a strange landscape, and as he moved closer to get a better look... Bird! Again out of nowhere, here inside of the mansion, a little blue bird darted purposely in front of him.
A bird?
Herb.
The bird caught his attention, stopping him in his tracks. When he looked to check on the fog again, the strange scene had disappeared.
This house must have a draft. I'll ask Alzaki about it tomorrow.
He muttered to himself as he sat on the bed. I would bet you money Alice put that there, so that way either she could use it as an excuse to kill him, or it was a portal to somewhere else so it would send him across the fucking country.
Probably.
But the bird is like, I like you. Don't go there. So. Meager as it was, the starlight peeping through the skylight calmed him.
Yeah, this'll work.
Exhaling slowly, he laid down. For the time being, he had the essentials needed to live, and his bed was many times softer than it appeared. Thinking his worries seemed smaller than they were, he quickly drifted off to sleep. that was the story of from when he opened his eyes to when he fell asleep. Join us next time when he opens his eyes again. Just
The
like
next
that, the short
episode
night
of
followed
Witch on
the
Holy
long
Night.
night was
Oh my god.
the short night following the long night was over. For one thing was true. Soujyuro was an optimist to a fault, but it wasn't the end of the world. Now, let us rewind 5 hours prior to this glutton for punishment going to bed.
Oh.
I think we should stop here and then we'll go into the glutton of punishment.
All right.
Next time on Witch on the Holy Night. Itchy nose.
I'm sure Suzuki can buy some paint, bring up a TV there. Things will be good.
It'll be fine.
Everyone say goodbye.
Bye bye now. Don't. No, don't.
What?
I don't know what any of that was.
Neither do I.
Okay. Later, gamers.
See
We're
you
gonna go
next
buzz up now.
time.
Bye.